Hello and welcome to the Open Virtual Film project. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to install the plugin and set it up in an empty project. To start with, you need the Epic Games Launcher installed on your computer, link in the description. And with that installed, you need to go to the Unreal Engine tab, the Library tab, and make sure you have Engine version 425 or above installed. If you do not, click the Install a New Version of Unreal Engine button, select 425 or above here, and click the install. After clicking the button, you will be prompted with an install location. I generally use default, but if you need the space on your C drive, you can click the Browse button and choose a different folder to install to. With that done, choose which version of the engine you're going to be running, and we're going to create a new project from scratch. To do that, click the Launch button, and it will open up a Select or Create New Project template. If you have an existing project, you can skip this step, but since we're starting from scratch, I'm going to choose the Film, Television, and Live Events template. Click Next. I'm going to start with blank, because it gives me a little bit more flexibility in what features I add to the project. Click Next. On this page, you'll find the option to turn on or off starter content. I generally don't use starter content because it is rather generic, and whether or not you want to use ray tracing. To finish out, you want to choose what folder on your computer that this project is going to be stored. Again, if you're using your D drive instead of your C drive, make sure that that is selected here, and you're going to need to give your project a name. With that done, hit Create Project, and wait. While you're waiting, you can install the Open Virtual Film Project plugin by going to the Marketplace and searching Open Virtual Film Project. Click it and it will ask you to buy it. It's free, so that shouldn't be a problem, and it will also give you the option to install to engine here. If you click the Install to Engine, it will come up with a drop down. Do you want to install it in 425, 426, etc. Alternatively, if you've already procured the Open Virtual Film Project plugin, in your Library tab, you can search your files for Open Virtual Film Project and click the Install button down here. Should there ever be an update for the Open Virtual Film Project while you're in the launcher with your library, you'll get an orange eye or an exclamation mark somewhere on your engine version in Installed Plugins, and to update, you click the Installed Plugins button, and there will be an update button here. With the Open Virtual Film Project plugin downloaded and installed into the engine and the project open, you want to go to Edit, Plugins, and we're going to start installing plugins. So first, I'm going to install the Open Virtual Film Project plugin by clicking the Enabled button here, and then I'm going to make sure that I have several other plugins installed. The first one is Virtual Production Utilities. See, it's enabled here. Then we also want to enable Editor Scripting Utilities and Sequencer Scripting, as well as the Python Editor Script plugin. You'll get a warning that Unreal Editor must be restarted for plugin changes to take effect. Go ahead and click Restart now. Once the project reopens, we're going to want to start changing some project settings. The first of which is under Edit, Editor Preferences. We're going to want to look at the derived data cache. If you have installed your project on something other than your C drive and you want to keep your C drive clean, you can change this local derived data cache location to somewhere else on your computer where it will store a bunch of temporary files. If you don't go through this step when working on a secondary drive, your C drive will mysteriously fill up with lots of files and it will make you sad. That's it for the editor settings. We're then going to go to Project Settings and search Python to turn on Enable Remote Execution. This is what allows the different content creation plugins to work, such as the Blender to Unreal, the Maya to Unreal, and the Rhino to Unreal bridges. With that done, you're going to want to scroll down to the Plugins section and click the Ovfp tab. In here you will find various configuration settings for the Ovfp plugin that might be required for your project, such as if you're not using an environments folder and you are using an env folder instead. You would change this game environments here to game/env. Or if you're using a different scale cube, say you have a character baked into your scale cube, you can change what scale cube is spawned here. A few settings to worry about are rendering settings, the first of which is separate translucency. I untick this because separate translucency will make it so that your translucent objects do not blur correctly with depth of field and cameras. And the last of which is the custom depth stencil pass, changing it from enabled to enabled with stencil, which will allow some extra features in the camera plugin I will talk about at the end of this video. Once this is done, on the toolbar across the top of the screen, there is now an Ovfp Plugin button. If you click that, it will open up a widget with buttons for all of the tools. Additionally, if you go into the content browser and go to the View options, Show Plugin, Show Engine, and click the sidebar here, you can then scroll down to the Ovfp Plugin content folder. Inside of here, you will find things such as the master materials for the project. Looking in the surfaces directory, we currently have 61 master materials here, and others for decals and light functions. In the general resources folder, there is a folder for sample objects that demonstrates some of the features of the project. Of important note is that you do not want to edit anything inside of this folder. So, for instance, if you wanted to create a copy and edit one of these master materials on your project, first, if you have a person in charge of the technical aspects of your project, such as an art director or technical director, ask them before making a change such as this. But then if you wanted to make a change and keep the change, you would grab the object you wanted to change, copy it, and paste it into the actual content folder in a place designated by said art director or technical director. Additionally, if I'm in this folder, I can right-click any of the assets in this folder and show and explore, which will take me to where this plugin is installed. Inside of this folder, if I go up a directory, there's a resources folder where I will find folders for each of the different bridges between ADCC and Unreal, some bash scripts that provide a few useful functions when working on larger projects, and a folder for documentation, where you will find things such as descriptions of all of the master materials in the project. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is installing the companion plugin to the Open Virtual Film project, the Storyboard Tool. And you have two options here, either the paid version on the Epic Marketplace or the free version. The paid version provides a few benefits, such as automatic updates and the ability to draw on top of screenshots inside of Unreal. It also provides monetary support for the project and allows me to keep doing what I'm doing. However, the free version includes everything you need for replicating real-world cameras without a few of the quality of life features of the paid version. To install the paid version, if you go to the Open Virtual Film Project website and click the Downloads page, there's a button for the paid version, which will send you to a marketplace link. You can download it and install it just like we installed the Open Virtual Film Project plugin. Alternatively, if you want the free version, click the free link. That'll take you to a MediaFire link where you can download the appropriate version of the Storyboard Tool free for whatever version of the engine you're currently working in. With the zip file downloaded, you extract all, open that folder, and there is a Storyboard Tool folder inside of there. You need to copy that Storyboard Tool folder, navigate to where your Unreal project is, and if you do not have a plugins folder next to your .u project, right-click, new folder, create a plugins folder, and you want to paste that Storyboard Tool folder inside of that plugins folder in the directory of your project. You will have to do this for every project that you work on. With that done, close and reopen Unreal, and in plugins, you'll have the option to tick on the Storyboard Tool. Similarly to the Open Virtual Film project, under Project Settings, the Storyboard Tool has numerous settings, including how it saves screenshots, the initials of the artist that is currently working on it, and the default width of the screenshots that you take with this tool. More details in further videos. Then when you want to access the tool, there is now a Storyboard tool to accompany the Ovfp Plugin tool in the top bar of your Unreal project. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.